Hello there, goofballers. The man, the legend, the analyzer has returned and broke out of his laziness. For about, oh holy shit. Okay, so no fucking around anymore. Let's just get to the episode 3 leaks I got from Clockleaf herself. I won't be analyzing them, I will just show them with info. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of leaks, but you can find some few leaks in Clockleaf's channel. Well, right now, it's time for the main course of this video. Episode starts off by Thad calling Lizzie, giving her a deal. After wrapping up the conversation, and asks Thad, admitting that he has no idea what an phone is. In response, Thad hands over his own device, offering to guide him through the basics of how it works, and decides to video call Lizzie, but the interaction quickly turns, well, a little awkward.
Okay, what do you want now?
Oh my god. Hey, it's so cool to meet you, tiny person. I'm in.
Wallen and Lizzie are chatting. Lizzie finally gives us a look at Doll. However, Doll's behavior ends up being weird when she sees N. Once the call ends, Thad casually mentions that Lizzie and Doll should be arriving in just 3 seconds. Sure enough, they show up almost instantly, leaving everyone confused and me about how they managed to travel so quickly. Curious about this, I eventually ended up reaching Clockleaf the creator about this. So, Doll ended up teleporting Lizzie after the video call ended, which it's a good thing we finally know the answers, and yes, there will be more questions asked from Clockleaf later on in the video. Anyways, Thad is replacing Uzi for now and going to find her no matter the cost. Thad then shows off his new group name and their plan on how to kill Jay and find Uzi. Since Lizzie and Doll are here, they should be watching over V, and speaking about V, next scene is V with Brayden and Rebecca. As V is about to lose her shit, Brayden suggests Rebecca to give V her tablet, and V ends up watching Tails.
Filthy worker.
Here, watch this.
I don't care what you show me. You will never make me listen to your...
Por mucho tiempo lo oculté. Esta sensación pecaminosa.
Like no joke, look at V, she's full on iPad kid mode LMAO. Back to Thad and the others, since saving Uzi in one night would be near impossible, Thad thinks of working into groups. Thad and Lizzie will work on the new clothes and N, and Doll will try to find some items and craft weapons.
And so you are perfect for the job.
I mean, you're not wrong. You are very strong and good at putting things back together, if you know what.
Doll thoughts of changing places. You know, at this point, I think Doll is racist. As N and Doll leave, Thad have thought of having a new cut and new look. Can't lie, that hair looks cute. Alright, we quickly go back with N and Doll finding some items. They split up and Doll stares into the distance. We finally cut to Jay and Uzi, who is transformed in her scary monster form. It seems they're trying to find a scrapyard. As Jay threatens Uzi, we get this frame. Alright, time to read this text. You think I'll read this text?
Go ahead.
Okay, fine then. It says here, please provide ID before entering. If any worker drone is seen alive in the yard, transfer them to Facility 103, kill any non-authorized worker drone. If you ask me what is Facility 103, you'll see later on. As Jay and Uzi are wandering around the scrapyard, they suddenly see this. It looks like an hoodied worker drone. It seems it's rummaging through scrap and trash. Jay then approaches it. The worker drone then fights back because of Jay's ugly smile. Jay is kinda amused. The worker drone tries to fight back again, but Jay quickly blocked the attack. She then talks to the worker drone harshly and threatening again. The worker drone then quickly runs away. As the worker drone was able to escape, Jay suddenly out of nowhere creepily shows up from behind, and then the fight finally starts. Jay tries to shoot the worker drone, but ends up shooting this ugly ass. Of course, I did eventually ask, Clockleaf about this guy. I asked Clockleaf if this guy survived and play a role in the upcoming future episodes. There were probably some spoilers that Clockleaf said, I think. Anyways, she said that he's barely surviving, which could possibly mean that this guy is kinda like dead, or something like that. He is also just simply a minor background character, so he is probably dead. Jay then quickly threw that worker drone onto some wooden pillar, which that right there was brutal. The worker drone then quickly bought 69 Robux to revive itself with its solver abilities, and it unlocks its battle mode. It then stabs Jay in the head, injuring her, but Jay quickly fights back by strangling the unknown worker drone. Jay then finally ends the fight by slamming the drone into the ground. As the worker drone is down, Jay readies to give it a big kiss. The worker drone then interrupts Jay by giving her a manual in front of her face. Let's read this manual then. Official or Official Worker Drone Manual, 3069 Anniversary Edition, get it. Cause 69. Anyways, that right up there, I can't read it, of course. Down here is the most low-ass quality, but yet it's still readable at least. See the most recent changes to these impressive machines. There's the signature, and down there is more. Any copies of said manual cannot be distributed to lower employees or any person outside of the company. If we stop this frame right here, we can see that the worker drone's eye flashes into the solver, but I don't know, maybe it didn't mean anything. The worker drone, or from now we will call her C, finally talks. She was sent to help out Jay due to V and leaving her. She's also a newer and improved model of an worker drone and high-ranked employee. But in my opinion, something feels fishy about her, but yay, she ends up joining the team. As Jay yells at Uzi, Jay explains Uzi to C about how she ended up like this, and then we get this quite interesting shot. This is in different timeline where Uzi ended up joining Jay, which there could be chance that if Murder Drones Infested ends, then Clockleaf could possibly make an alternative version of the first episode. But let's see how this Uzi looks. She looks like she's wearing a coat, kinda similar to N's coat. I don't know if she is also wearing a mask that's covering her mouth, but it kinda looks like it. She has the same hair as Nori and wears an hat. On her left hand, she is holding a flag that says Rebellion, but those other words I can't be able to read, and up there is the JC Jensen logo. Anyways, Jay and C are going to find a new location. The map that has its half gone, we can see it right here. The only thing that's readable is this piece. Alright, Jay and C and Uzi ready themselves for a little adventure, and then we finally cut to Dal and N. They had finally found some items. As N talks to Doll, Doll goes to create Lizzie's weapon. As Doll uses her solver abilities, we can notice these two images or one of her memories. First one is probably N who is waving. And the second one, which we will have to use in second scene for this, and it says that's false or something else. Doll then starts crafting, and yes, Lizzie was right, she really is good at putting things together. Now it shows the second image or memory much closer. It looks like one of those white rooms. It now says that's true, and then some sort of figure shows up. Then N almost ends up cutting Doll using her solver abilities. But then as we look closely right here when N starts to get kinda like concerned, Doll looks like if she is about to attack N right here. If N kept being concerned, Doll would have ended up killing N, or maybe something else would have happened. As N compliments Doll, they both go continue finishing the weapons. I don't know why Doll looks uncomfortable or sad right here. Kinda feel bad for her. We continue our adventure with J, Uzi, and C. They are slowly getting closer to the new location, but J is starting to feel her temperature rise up, so she needs oil. Then they finally arrive to their destination. Some sort of untouched building. And yes, this is Facility 103 that was said in the sign. Then we suddenly see this figure, C. Then out of nowhere just runs towards the building for some reason. As we go inside the facility, we realize that the inside of the facility is kinda worse and scarier than the outside. We then see that C is staring at something in terror. As J goes to see what's wrong, C then points at what she's staring at. Before we dive in on who this is, I'm gonna read this poster which is beside this thing. Remember, your life is meaningless in this world. Be happy when you are dying. Your contribution gives you purpose. Well, that's a interesting message. Anyways, this thing right here, which its name is Lily, looks much less scary with her mouth closed, LOL. Then it starts walking towards them, and it has legs replaced with metal sticks, so just imagine a horror game like this. Okay, so this is the full appearance of Lily. Lily wears a long stitched coat and a cap on her head, and a lantern on her chest, which isn't seen in this picture. This is probably helping Lily to see a little bit because you can see how her eyes look. She also has some long-ass arms. As Lily is slowly creeping towards J and C, J goes to kill Lily, but then suddenly out of nowhere another new character shows up stabbing J in the arm to prevent from killing Lily. We can see that his name is Leon Crocker just from his name label. Now it's time to talk about his appearance too, just like with Lily. His appearance looks much less scarier than Lily's. He wears some sort of coat or a jacket. His arms are replaced with long hooks, and his right side of his face is exposed. He also wears the same lantern just like Lily, but I actually don't know if these are actually lanterns or something else. He also speaks Spanish. Leon and Lily go to lead J and C to an elevator. As they go inside the elevator, inside it there's a dead worker drone or a dead human, but I'm not sure. And beside is this. What the fuck is... This scene right here ends up being quite awkward yet funny because there's the elevator song playing in the background. As they arrive to the 5th floor, we see this strange room. On that board it says the big day, and beside it is something important covered in red paint because underneath is this canister, or either blood. Jay goes towards a random desk which has a key card and text beside it saying, use key. As Jay goes to use the key card, we end up in a dark room. Nothing right? Suddenly, Holy shit. For sure my lazy ass ain't about to explain their appearance. So I'll just tell y'all their names only. As Jay stares at the outsiders in fear, suddenly a pair of hands come out of nowhere, touching her shoulders. Jay turns around, and we see the figure from before. The figure, or from now on we will call her the Prophet. The Prophet seems to be wearing a mask that covers half of her face, and I have no idea how she is able to see through this. The Prophet then pats Jay, and then went to touch C. I don't know what she was about to do. Anyways, the Prophet then sends Jay to go to sleep. As the Prophet sends Jay into an room, Jay finds a complimentary oil for her to not overheat. Beside is this interesting message from the Prophet. Please meet me tomorrow at 10:43, and there are many things we need to discuss. I have much more to show you. There are things your company has not told you. Well, guess we will learn more in the next episode. Jay then goes to sleep on a bed and the scene ends. We cut back again with Anne and Doll finished with the weapons. They arrive back into the pod. Thad wears a blanket on his head for some reason. The outfits are done as well. Thad tried to do his cool speech, but Lizzie just reveals him. The new thing is that he just has this fake scar on his face and a new haircut. Doll shows Lizzie's weapon to Lizzie, and she of course likes it. Then Thad asks Anne about what weapon did he make for him, and did he eventually also made weapons for Doll as well. I asked Clockleaf about what the weapon is supposed to do, and it just shoots explosive fireworks. And for Doll, he made these two dual pistols, which quite look like crows. Then Thad tells all of them to get some sleep and that they'll continue tomorrow. Lizzie and Doll finally leave, leaving Thad and Anne alone. But since there are no beds inside this pod, Anne suggests this idea on how to sleep. And I can't lie, oh boy, that's the most uncomfortable way to sleep. Like, I know one sleeps like that, but I do gotta agree with Thad here. And talks to Thad for a bit about that he doesn't want to lose him like when he lost Uzi, and then they say their good night. And the episode ends, and then we don't get another episode for 2 years. Alright, finally I'm done with this. From now I'll be taking a long break because of how long and stressful this was to make. Really thank you all for your patience and sub so y'all can support me. And speaking about support, subscribe to Clockleaf. The creator of this animation, her YouTube channel should be in the description. That would do me a lot, and for the creator. That's all from now on. See you next time.